Hello, I'm Mark Stern, and today I'm joined by my lovely wife, Anne. Hello, Anne.
Hello, Mark.
Hello. We call each other Anne and Mark, I think, for the purpose of this this video, rather than our usual, what do they call them?
Terms of endearment.
Exactly, that's it. So the reason why I'm actually chatting to Anne and wanted to actually really interview Anne is because something incredible happened within my role as an estate agent on one of my properties. And I'm going to start off by explaining what happened to this property in Bricket Wood, and then I'll let Anne take over and talk about what she actually did. So I had a property that's been on the market for the best part of a year. Unfortunately, in this current market, it's not surprising. And it was getting very limited viewings, and the people that were going in and actually looking at the property were not being very nice about it. They were saying that there's a terrible feeling when you walk in, didn't like the property, and just felt a really bad energy. And as the time's gone on, I was getting, as I said, maybe just like one viewing a month on the property, and hardly nobody was liking it at all. I had a conversation with my vendor and just mentioned the fact that I'm married to the wonderful Anne, and that we're a very spiritual couple, and we really do believe that things happen for a reason and you can change things. And I asked him if he'd be interested in speaking to Anne about a house clearance blessing. And that's when Anne jumped on. And
Okay.
what did you do?
So your client asked me to clear the house. He was very concerned because the previous owner was boasting about doing satanic rituals at the property, and that it was a very dark energy. And when I was first asked to do it, I did speak to a few of my spiritual peers, and one couple that I work with very closely said, leave it alone. But I thought, let me just tune in and see what I could feel. And when I tuned in, it didn't feel that bad. I could feel that there was a lot of protection around the house. So I felt it was something I felt safe to do. So I decided I had a budget of actual materials that I needed to buy, let alone the usual sage that I would use to actually clear the property and Palo Santo. So I bought some my own protection, because I needed to protect myself if I was going into this environment. And also I bought some plants that I knew would help sell the property. So I went with...
You didn't have to do it. Wasn't like an exorcism or anything like that.
No, thank God.
Yeah, exactly.
No. So I went to the property, and I was struck actually by how the garden just didn't feel... There was no negative vibe in the garden at all, in that area. It was actually very lovely. But when I walked in the house, I could feel a dark presence. Not of a being, but just a dark feeling. And in particular from the front bedroom and the toilet and bathroom area. And I thought, it just felt a bit not very nice. And then I sort of tuned in more to it, and then I sort of felt the person that had lived there, because your current vendor doesn't live there.
No, he never did. It was an investment.
Yeah, and what I was picking up was insecurity and depression. So he was feeling very dark. He was having dark thoughts. And in fact, when I started the actual clearance, and I was trying to put in some, I use Reiki as part of the house blessing, I could feel some resistance. But I went along with it anyway, and I found that in the front room, which is where, the lounge area, there was actually felt like there was this like mandala of a positive energy, which I thought was lovely. So I felt that what he was doing was bravado. There wasn't satanic stuff there. I didn't feel it at all, and I'm very, very sensitive. And I went around the property and I did all my usual things that I do. I smudged the house, I cleared the house, I even lit a candle for a new beginning. And we left that because it hadn't burnt out yet. But I was wanted that to go through its process. and did a Shamanic House Blessing.
And you left crystals as well.
I left crystals for protection in every room. Yeah. And then that was it.
So that was what, about 2 to 3 weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, about 3 weeks ago now, yeah.
So then what happened was that a week passed, and all of a sudden I get an inquiry come through. Go and meet this woman at the property. As she walks in through the door, the first thing she said was, wow, what an amazing energy this house has. And I was like thinking, oh my God, all I thought of was you. Like, oh my God, what Anne's done, amazing. She walked around there, she said, yeah, this will do, this is fantastic. And she offered, and we got it tied up, got the deal tied up. Then the next day, I then get a call from somebody else that wants to go and have a look at the property. So I took him to have a viewing. He also walked in there and said, oh, it feels really bright and really light in here, really good. I'll come back to you. He made a lower offer, didn't make any difference because we're still going with this woman. And I thought at this point, I said to Anne, I've got to do a video on this. I really have to. I mean, for those of you that know that I have Your Property Matters, you know, right now the property market is difficult. I mean, you know, I'm selling, I'm getting properties on and I'm selling, but not everything is selling. And it's very stressful for people that are trying to sell at the moment. And I felt like, you know what, let's do this. If you're trying to sell your property right now, your agent's tried everything, reducing the price, changing the photos, doing this, telling you to bake a bread, but you can't bake the bread, it makes no difference because you're not getting the viewings in the first place, then this is an alternative. It has worked. And also, just to say, you mentioned plants, which you're not going to give away, because obviously I think people need to contact you to have a chat about it in person. But a couple of weeks,
it's worked for me.
Yeah, well, a couple of weeks before that, we had another property. The woman didn't want the house blessing, but she did take advice on the plants that Anne advised her to buy, and she bought the plant. That also had been on the market for a long time. That was a house that was on the market for nearly 1.4 million. Again, the plants were there. She's looking after the plants, and about a week later, from having a month with no viewings, I get 3 viewings, 2 offers. Now, the offers weren't high enough to type a deal, but that's not the point. The point is, it's created the activity. So, if people want to contact you, I'm going to put your number up on the screen here now, in any case. Is there anything else you'd like to add about what you do?
I'm an NLP life coach. I read tarot, and I also teach and do Reiki healing. So if there's anything that I can help you with and advise you with, changing the energy of something that isn't working for you, then yeah, please feel free to reach out to me.
Absolutely. And this is a call out for all you estate agents across the country, not just your homeowners that are trying to sell, but all the estate agents. If you feel that Anne has something that you could utilize, please get in contact with her. Doesn't matter that I'm an estate agent. I'm a very nice estate agent, especially to other estate agents. So have a great day, everyone. Enjoy the sunshine. And Mark Stern, Your Property Matters, saying bye-bye with my lovely wife, Anne.
Bye.